Hello everyone, welcome to Together with Ben, Core Java Learning Series 1. As I might have mentioned in the previous video, we are going to learn about integer type variables. There are many integral type variables like byte, short, int, long, float, and double, and each and every one of them will be used for certain tasks. Depending on your need, you might need a larger and decimal or just a regular integer number. And they also have different sizes. So if you want to store big numbers, you might be going for long, like phone numbers, say. And with the decimal long numbers, maybe go with the float. So we are going to look at integer, int variable today, int type. So for that, we are going to do an example, a simple example. And also we are still going to use the command line to make sure that we understand also basics of the command line as well. And then if we have an int data type, and then if we name it number, and if we give it a value 15, we are gonna show it like int number equals 15. And we also have to end our statements with a semicolon. That's something you must be doing. And then lastly, we are gonna learn about the J shell. That's from JDK 13. I highly recommend that. If you don't know about that, go check out JDK 13. And when you install JDK 13, J shell comes right in your start. So if you start and type in J shell, that's the first thing that comes up. So I will talk about J shell later on. So first, let's create a text file. Actually, let's open our test folder. We have our hello world class, so let's copy and paste it right here. So this one I want to name primitive type integer, but I can't be using spaces. Primitive int, let's name it just primitive. I don't want it too complicated. Alright, so the primitive file, if we edit it, we have to make sure that the class name is also primitive. If you remember from last time, primitive. Okay, we are good right there. And then our extension is java.java. And we had our sysout right here for printing. But now we are going to assign our value. So if you can see, int number 15 equals 15 and ending with a semicolon. So that let's save it. If you run this code, it will not do anything other than printing this hello CL world. But let's change this message. My number. And then we are going to learn about the concatenation later on, but here I can just simply put a plus and then put the name of the variable, number. So I can say my number is, and then the number. So space between the quotation is important. You should not be forgetting. But the space other than that is not important. But for conventions, naming conventions, you must be using proper ways. Indentation is very important. So keep those in mind. So if we save this, now we are missing one file, class file. If you remember our first video, if I go back up, how do we get the class file? We need to use Java C option, right? So let's do that. Let's open PowerShell. And then let's navigate to test file. Let's do ls to verify primitive file is in there. And that's right, it's in there. So now we need to compile the code using Java C, and then the name primitive.java, and then I want Java 8, so I will have to point out that, and then press enter. As you can notice, primitive.class is generated. And then if you don't have the folder open, let's do ls and then press enter. You can also see it right here, primitive class. Okay, our next step is to validate. How do you validate? Java and then name primitive. And then before I press enter, let me scroll down. So we should be able to, so let me add another step right here. Actually, this had to be number 3. Validate the output. It must be my number is 15. So let's see if it's gotta be something like this. Then let's press enter. There you are. My number is 15. It's printed. So if I want to make some changes, then I have to compile it again, and so on. You must always be following your steps and make sure that you get what you need. Sometimes you may need to try multiple times, but that's in the nature of learning new things. Hopefully you can learn in the best way. Okay, so my number is 15 is validated. We are going to do more examples on this one and then more on other integral types. But for right now, let's continue to JShell. And please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. Hopefully I'll do my best to help you out. So let's go to start and then type in JShell, because I have JDK 13 installed. So let's open that. Alright, so this is another helpful program that I will say it can be really beneficial. So Let's try JShell real quick. I have my first number, int number equals 15. As you will see, it's pointing out number equals 15. And then I will also say int number 2, and this is my second number, and I will say this is 20. And then number 2 equals 20. So I can do something like this. Let me try. Number plus number 2. Let's see. There. I have 35. So how would I show this in the coding? So we just need to do system.out.println, and then remember sum equals, remember the space inside the quotation, and then it may seem complicated, but if you practice this, I might need to put parentheses here to tell the compiler that this plus is not like this plus. One is addition, one is concatenation, right? So 2, and then close the parentheses. Ta-da! I failed to put one of the parentheses, so let's try again. Okay, we got our error, so let's try again one last time, but more simpler way this time. Number plus number 2, and then we get 35. So forget about this part. That was not meant to happen. The CLS works in the PowerShell or command line as clear screen, but it doesn't work in JShell, which is alright. I hope you got something out of it. JShell can be really useful for practicing, but also there are a lot of other tools that you can use, but this is one of the tools that came out with JDK 13. So you can make it do more complicated things, but for today I think that's good enough. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.